Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
So guys, I wanted to start this video out by showing you this tweet. I thought this tweet was so relatable to my strategy towards this Ripple SEC case. XRP Queen tweets out, "My goal is to accumulate as much XRP as possible before the settlement." I think this is such a good perspective to have because I think a lot of us get lost with this entire case going on in a bunch of negative emotions. People get really stressed out about their investment, but this is such a good perspective to have. We need to realize that the fundamentals behind XRP and Ripple have not changed. XRP and Ripple are no doubt going to be a key part in updating our future financial system to a financial system built directly into the internet. None of this has changed at all with the Ripple SEC case, and if anything, the XRP and Ripple fundamentals have gotten even stronger. What's super important to take away from this is that this SEC case has only brought one of the best buying opportunities on XRP we will likely ever see. This is why I have actually looked at this case as a blessing in disguise. It has given me more time to accumulate cheap XRP before XRP is given the certain clarity it needs to dominate the United States financial system. Those who have a long-term time horizon and a vision of the future are no doubt going to be rewarded massively. So guys, I want to move on and show you something that's turning out to be a huge issue for the SEC in this case, and that is video recordings of past officials making statements about cryptocurrencies. You would think if the SEC had any merits to this case, this wouldn't be a big issue because they would have been consistent throughout their history on their views of cryptocurrency. But the complete opposite is true, and it seems like every single time we find an old video of one of these officials talking, it seems like they are saying things that completely contradict to what the SEC is trying to say. Pay attention to what Valerie Sepenik has to say here, because she had one of the lead roles in the SEC's crypto division and is actually brought up multiple times in the Ripple SEC case.
Statuses. And I think a lot of, there is regulatory uncertainty in this country and others. This country especially has quite a large framework of regulations that could apply to any one individual undertaking activities, so that someone might be subject to, FinCEN for Bank Secrecy Act requirements, maybe subject to the SEC if it's doing broker-dealer stuff, maybe subject to state regulations, but all these things are a big patchwork. And I think for a lot of these firms, having someone say, okay, we're going to claim this as our own is going to be helpful to them. A lot of people are asking for that. Unfortunately, agencies can't always move as quickly as folks in the industry would want.
So right here, the former SEC crypto lead is literally admitting that none of these firms have the clarity they need to operate in the United States. Now, this is in stark contrast to what Gary Gensler is saying today, and that is that the rules are already clear. Well, it turns out no one at the SEC even thinks that the rules are clear, and that is the major issue the crypto industry faces right now. Even more importantly for Ripple, though, is the fact that these SEC officials are literally admitting in video that Ripple never had any fair notice that its selling of XRP was in some way against the law. It is one thing for Ripple to fight this defense to the court. It's another thing for the SEC's own personnel to be coming out and saying that, look, it is our fault that the rules aren't clear. We haven't done our job of providing this industry with guidance, and that's why this entire Ripple SEC case is looking like more of a sham than it ever has. And if we just take a look at what some high-level people have said about XRP in the past, it goes to show that nothing is clear at all in the cryptocurrency industry. And even if you have one person saying that XRP clearly is a security, there are so many other people who see the complete other side of it. Right here we have Christian Giancarlo. He says, under a fair application of the Howey test and the SEC presently expanding analysis, XRP should not be regulated as a security, but instead considered a currency or a medium of exchange. This is a former head of the CFTC, and he makes it very clear that under the SEC's rules and the Howey analysis, XRP is not a security. We also right here have Tom Emmer saying, first of all, my position is very clear. XRP is not a security, alright? And this is a congressman. These are two people who have a ton of power in the government who have completely contradicting views to Gary Gensler and the SEC. We also have lawyers. Mary Jo White is on the Ripple board, but she also says there is no way to sugarcoat it. The SEC is dead wrong legally and factually. And last of all, we have the CEO of SBI Holdings. He says Japan's FSA has already made it clear that XRP is not a security. I'm optimistic that Ripple will prevail. In the final ruling in the US, SBI Holdings remain a steadfast partner to Ripple and looks forward to expanding together in Asia. This is just further proof that the idea that XRP is a security is so far from certain, and it actually looks like that if you sample a bunch of very smart high-level regulators, the majority of them won't even agree with the absurd assumption that Gary Gensler is trying to say is obvious. This makes me more confident than ever that XRP will prevail in the courts, and we are going to get a ruling that is in line with how the majority of people are looking at this asset class. Now guys, I also wanted to go over quickly that we should be seeing a brand new filing out of Ripple tomorrow in this case. This filing has to do with extended discovery for Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson's case. Just so you guys remember, these cases with Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson are essentially running parallel to the Ripple case. The reason why this is actually so big is it actually involved an order that had to do with summary judgment. So this could actually lock in a summary judgment schedule. This would be a huge step because I have been saying on this channel for a while now that the SEC will not dare to go to summary judgment. The court has already seen how contradictory, how insane the SEC has been over the course of this case, and I don't think the SEC is going to dare let the judge have the final say. The SEC is going to want to settle this case before summary judgment, because if it goes to summary judgment, this case could end up creating a precedent for other cryptocurrency companies to follow. This is the last thing the SEC wants. This entire time, the SEC has ran this trial based on being ambiguous, based on not sharing any information. The SEC is able to control this market because there are no clear rules, and that allows them to go after anyone they want. If this case goes to summary judgment and the judge makes a ruling, this could take away a large amount of the SEC's ambiguity, and this is something they are not going to want to let happen. Especially since the SEC would be losing this case, losing all this power they might have, might not have, we don't know, but they would be losing essentially all of it to Ripple, who really is a good player in this industry. I don't think the SEC is going to be willing to take this risk. They would rather save whatever power they're left with to actually go after bad actors in the industry. Last of all, guys, was this case already settled? Are we just watching the final acts of a staged lawsuit play out? A staged lawsuit to create a precedent in the market, to create regulatory clarity that the US desperately needs? Well, Fox News seems to think so. On a recent interview they did with John Deaton, this banner right here was labeled, "SEC loses battle with Ripple to register coin." Now, this was pretty interesting in itself. I don't know if it was a typo or they were trying to allude to something they knew, but to add to the speculation, almost immediately after, we start seeing these pictures of Brad Garlinghouse holding up the champagne. He sure looks happy to me. And what does XRP Darren point out? This picture of Bearable Guy holding the champagne. Sometimes you see these riddles and you cannot believe it. This is one of them. That doesn't look like a guy who's concerned about this lawsuit. This does not look like a guy who's concerned about the SEC.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.